Do you ever feel like your ex's betrayal shattered more than your marriage? That it obliterated your ability to trust and be vulnerable ever again? Well, you're not alone. Take Jose, for example, a client of mine. So when he discovered his wife's affair, he fell into a spiral of suspicion, constantly doubting his new partner's motives and commitment. But with the following 3 trust-restoring strategies I'm about to reveal to you, he healed his heartbreak. He opened his heart fearlessly. And he eventually magnetized the secure, devoted relationship of his dreams. Now, in this video, you will learn my proven techniques to release your fear of being hurt again, cultivate unshakable trust in yourself specifically, but also in others, and create an epic love story built on the bedrock of profound intimacy and emotional safety. Before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe now for exclusive content to building an epic love story. Now let's get real about the shattering impact of betrayal on your emotional world as a divorced dad. There are the flashbacks, the hypervigilance, the instinctive projection of past wounds onto every new connection. Experience some of those? I did. Now those self-protective instincts, they morph into impenetrable barriers against love and vulnerability, don't they? Right? So you find yourself keeping people at bay with skepticism, aloofness, always bracing for abandonment. Always bracing for something that's not gonna work right? It's as if you're approaching every single relationship and every single woman out there thinking that they already have one leg outside of the door. And that really affects your self-esteem, your self-worth, and much more. So here's the agonizing irony in all this. In trying to prevent more pain, you're actually ensuring it by blocking the very intimacy and secure attachment you crave deep down. Because I know you. We're all the same. That's what we really want. Okay? But it's not by overprotecting yourself that you're gonna get it. We can't hide and outrun the truth. And the truth is, we have to risk hurt to receive love. So if you've been affected by divorce and it shattered your trust and confidence in yourself and others, here's strategy number 1. And that is excavate, examine, and expel. So I'm about to share a counterintuitive principle that changed everything for my clients to release pain, for myself as well, actually. And the principle is, we must first feel it fully. So stopping it down or avoiding it altogether, that keeps us stuck. That's exactly what keeps us stuck. The path out is through, and that's the only path out. You need to understand that, all right? When you're gonna be stuffing all this hurt and pain deep down in your stomach, in your belly, in your gut, anywhere, right? I want you to picture this. It's like a mentor of mine who would say, you know, you can hold your asshole closed for only so long. Eventually, you're gonna shit all over the place. And so when you stuff shit down, your emotional pain, your hurt, your distrust, all the trauma and the wounds you got in the divorce or even previously, what you do, you just accumulate more and more and more shit. Eventually, you're gonna shit all over the people, all over yourself, all over everywhere. You won't even be able to control it. You're just gonna explode with that. Perhaps that's exactly what led to the dissolution of your first marriage, and of other relationships. All right, you know that. Stuffing it is not going to work for you. Unfortunately, in that case as well, when you stuff too much and then you explode, you actually explode on the very people that you love the most, because they're the ones around you and they have the capacity to push on that button, to push on your belly just a little bit for you to not being able to squeeze anymore. And so, boom, right? So it's important to understand. Another thing is that you cannot run away from it or distract yourself from it. Impossible. I mean, you can for a while, but it's not going to solve the problem. So sure, you can engage in, Facebook scrolling, YouTube watching, Netflix, television, gambling, overworking, excusing yourself by saying, oh, I have too many kids, or I have kids, I need to take care of them, and not looking at yourself, not going through that exercise. That's not going to work. Perhaps you've been engaging in too much porn, or browsing sports channels, or watching sport, or engaging in some stupid argument on Facebook with somebody you don't even know, perhaps a bot. It doesn't work in the long run, all right? So what I want to do is I want to share with you the guide that will help you, okay? Grab your journal and free write. I want you to just start writing. What is free writing? It's when you write without thinking. You just free write on a specific story you created about relationships, about your worth, and about lovability after betrayal, okay? Breathe into sensations. Speak to your younger self with fierce compassion. Because let me tell you, nobody has ever spoken to your younger self with compassion. You will, and you need to. That's what you need to do, okay? This is what I want you to try for this Spartan experiment. So I want you to record an audio letter to your ex. Don't send it to her, okay? Just record it. Giving full voice to your anger, because you have anger, you have grief. If you didn't, you wouldn't be listening to this video. So give full voice to your anger, to your grief, and all those limiting beliefs that their actions seared into you, and created into you. And then what I want in that audio, and it can last for as long as you want, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 minute, whichever way, right? Scream, sob, let it rip, let it all out, everything. Just take it and everything out, right? And then permanently delete that audio. And then what you're going to do in that journal, you're going to write. And those pages where you wrote previously, everything that happened to you, you can even burn them. Okay, that's a really good, powerful ritual as well. And just put some energy into it and saying, okay, I'm letting that go now. Okay, then what you will want is to recreate or write a new story of resilience and deserving love. Okay, what that's going to do to you is that you're reprogramming your brain this way. That works magic because you put emotion in it. Again, you excavate, you examine, and then you just expel. That's the process. So you excavate your emotions, you examine them. Well, is it true? Is it not true? And you expel all of that from you. Okay? Super powerful. So what I want you to do as well is I want you to drop a comment with one fear that has been tanking your trust. Now, I'll reveal how to dissolve it and leap into fearless love. Okay? Just do it now. And that brings us into key strategy number 2. You need to date yourself first. I mean, what do you mean, Gleb, right? Well, you see, the foundation of trust and honors is unshakable trust in yourself first. When you know your worth is not dependable on another's behavior, you can love without fear. Because no matter what they do, your worth is still here. Okay? So how do we get there? Well, by keeping your own trust bank account overflowing through honoring your commitments to yourself, celebrating your wins, and affirming your worthiness of love daily. That means being in integrity with your word. You make a promise to yourself, you do well on that promise. You say, I'm going to do something, you do that. Maybe before you said, oh, you know what? I'm going to do that exercise Gleb just spoke to. Now do that. That in itself is going to raise your self-worth and self-assurance because you know and you prove it to your brain that, hey, I'm doing as I say. I'm a man of my word. That brings your worth up. That brings your self-esteem up. And then you celebrate your wins. Hey, you did it. I watched this video. I did what Gleb said. Good job, man. I'm proud of myself. And then you affirm, I'm worthy of love because I'm a man of my word. I'm a great man. I'm doing this, and I am that. Okay? Daily. Okay? So your next assignment is to craft 3 non-negotiable standards for how you will allow a partner to treat you. Think like, I will only invest in someone who respects my time by keeping their word. Or I will remove myself from situations where my boundaries are repeatedly crossed. And practice stating them unapologetically in the mirror until they're encoded in your bones, in your brain, in your DNA, in your blood, everywhere. What I used to do to encode that is that I wrote them on a piece of paper, grab any piece of paper, write them, put them on my bedside. Every time I would wake up, the first thing I would do is look at them. I would say, I am a man that respects my word. That's one of mine. I'm a man of my word. I do as I say. I'm reliable in this way. Okay, this is the first one. I have a few others. And so I embedded them in me, and my day started with that. And it's so powerful. When you start your day like this and just goes like this, you embed that, and then you act according to those beliefs, and you just like implant it in your brain. It works wonder. That's how you change your identity. That's how you change your personality, your persona. Then you act from that. And then the results that you're getting are completely different because the emotions you're getting are different. The thoughts that you're generating are different. And the actions and behavior are different and bring you to different kind of results than what you had so far. That's how you change your life. Okay? So what I want you to do right now, if you like this video, click the like button right now. If you watched so far, click the like button because you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't like it. Let's admit it, okay? Be a man of your word. Like it. Did it? Great. Because what it does is that liking this video is like casting your vote for healing your hurt into unstoppable self-love. And that brings us to strategy number 3, courageous communication. Here's the revelation that took my own healing to the next level. Vulnerability is a virtue of warriors, okay? Let me repeat, vulnerability is a virtue of warriors. The truth is that we men, we've been lied to from the very young age. We've seen movies where, real men don't cry. If real men show any kind of weakness, they're dead. Think of all these action movies. And it's like the Robocop or like, what's the name? The Terminator, right? That's a real man. That's a Terminator. Like his job is to terminate and have no feelings. Things like that. More importantly, when we were boys, and we cry, what happens? We get a beating. Men don't cry. Boys don't cry. Not only that, if our peers see us cry, well, you're like a girl, you're a pussy. Okay? You can get beaten up again. If we're getting angry, we're getting punished for that. So what we learned and what we intrinsically recorded in our body is that a toxic shame about having any kind of emotional experience. And furthermore, expressing any kind of emotional experience. Again, just like as I said before, eventually what we learned is that we started stuffing down the emotions because there was no way to express them anywhere. Because if we expressed them, we had so much shame attached to it, so we just can't. So we stuffed them down, so the only acceptable way to express emotions was in a crisis, an explosion. Usually with anger and rage. Okay? So the truth here is that authentically sharing your trust triggers and bravely making requests to have them met, that's how we foster profound intimacy and create unshakable security and connection with our partners. And let me tell you something, I'm gonna guesstimate here. If you're watched so far, this is probably the reason why you're not married anymore. It's because you weren't able to share vulnerably your triggers and tell your partner what you would like to see happening. So I'm going to give you this script, how to do this. Okay, how to express your fears and needs to your partner in a non-blaming way using the following format. I feel something like anxious, scared, untrusting when X happens because Y. And what I need to feel safe is Z. So let me give you an example here. I feel anxious and untrusting when you come home late from work without letting me know, because it triggers my fear of being kept in the dark or abandoned like in my past relationship. So what I need to feel safe is for you to send me a quick text if you know you're going to be late, unexpected. Something simple like, hey, I'm running behind, home by 7, would make a world difference for my peace of mind. Could you do that for me? That's it. That's the script. It's that easy. So what happens when you do this on a regular basis is the following. The toxic shame that you have around expressing emotions is going to melt. And it's going to be easier and easier and easier to express your vulnerable side. It's super key, guys. That's what we're doing through this exercise. So here is what I want you to do this week. I want you to solidify the skill with a real-world challenge. You will have one conversation this week with somebody where you vulnerably share in this particular format an emotional need with somebody you trust and enlist their support, no matter how awkward it may feel. I want you to prove to yourself that you can be held with care, that your emotions matter, that you matter first to yourself, but also to others. Another thing I want you to do is share this video to give the brother the secret passcode to lasting love. Somebody you know who's struggling with this, just share that with them and tell, hey, you need to watch this. All right? Literally, you're going to be saving him by throwing him a lifeline, saving him from loneliness with one generous click. Do that. So let's sum it up real quick. As a divorced single dad, you have this precious opportunity to alchemize your pain into your greatest power. The ability to create relationships steeped in radical authenticity, attunement, and trust. Where those walls of protections once stood in your heart, a gateway to soul-level connection is now beginning. Now, this video, I hope, has given you the foundation, but to fully restore your capacity for fearless love and build a securely attached forever relationship of your dreams without spending years in therapy reliving your heartbreak, I want to invite you into my complete proven system for single dads. So click the link in the description now to gain the exact tools, the mindset shifts, and personalized support you need to finally trust again like you've never been hurt before, and step into the arms of the extraordinary partner who's been waiting for you all along. Your epic love story starts now. Take care.